Hello everyone, this is Moss from Moss and Jade, and this is kind of a solo talk. This is, I don't know, Moss Talk. That'll be the name, Moss Talks. In this Moss Talk, and the reason it's only me is because I don't know, it's more of my specialty. It's Overwatch, and the meta, and the recent patches, and just mostly the meta and the recent patches. Overwatch has been going through a lot of big changes recently. We saw the first new character since the game's release, Ana. Ana's a very interesting character, and that's the one I'll touch on first. Ana got added. She basically is a support sniper, but she's not really, in my opinion, she's not sniper. She kind of is support, but she's not really either. She wouldn't do the job of a healer. Like, she's not a replacement for Mercy or Lucio or Zenyatta. But also she's not like this a sniper is really needed, but she's not another Widowmaker and she's not another Hanzo. So she's not really a support, she's not really a sniper, but she's a support sniper, which is kind of weird. She can heal enemies, and she has a projectile weapon. It's a very fast projectile though. But projectile rifle, sniper rifle, that does about like 75 damage, I think. It's very interesting, because she's not really a damage dealer, obviously. Her rifle is pretty weak and it's bolt action. She's not really a big healer either. She's not gonna save a team, although the heals are nice. She can shoot her teammates to heal them, and that's kind of nice, but it's not everything. It's not going to make the character, really. She has a grenade, which poisons enemies and heals allies and herself. That's the only way she can heal herself, because she doesn't have shields or anything, so that's interesting. If your grenade's on cooldown, basically you can't really heal yourself, which is interesting for a support class. But probably the biggest two things about her, the most interesting things, and the things that might need some reworking or something. Her left shift, her ability, it's a sleep dart, right? And that's alright. You know, there's things that lock people already, but it puts people to sleep for 6 seconds. It has a 12-second cooldown. So basically, if you're 100% accurate with this, you can have one of their team members, like, out, you know, for half the game, basically. Obviously, it's not going to be like that, but, I mean, it's a very powerful thing. They wake up with damage, luckily. I mean, if they didn't wake up with damage, it would be stupid. But they wake up with damage. The thing about this is if you have a coordinated team, sometimes the best option is to just, like, let them sit there for 5 seconds and then deal, you know, 120 damage or whatever, the most amount of damage that you can put in one instance. So you can either guarantee the kill, or you can just straight up take somebody out of the game for like 6 seconds and deal some damage, which is really, it's crazy considering how many and you can sleep dart a lot of ults too, like Soldier. You can sleep dart his ult. Far, you can sleep dart her ult. You can sleep dart so many things that just completely sleep dart negates so many things in this game, and it's difficult to deal with a good Ana if they know how to use their sleep dart. So this is difficult to say how it'll affect the meta. I think as time goes on we'll see, especially with Ana. But Ana, I think, as a character in the meta, when you pick Ana, you're either gonna hit or you're gonna miss. You know, if you're doing well with Ana, if you're hitting them sleep darts, and actually I'll talk about her ult in a second, but if you're hitting the sleep darts using the ult right, Ana can be a huge thing for the team. But even if you're playing like medium level as Ana, if you're playing like not awful, but like if you're playing then Ana's just, in my opinion, not very good. Her ult, I'll talk about her ult for a second. It kinda, I don't know off the top of my head exactly what it does, but I think you buff a teammate. That teammate takes 50% less damage. They're really speedy. They're like, I don't know, 2 times less fast or whatever. They're really fast. And I think they do more damage. I'm not positive on that one. I'm pretty sure though. But her ult is really interesting. It goes with some team compositions, and it doesn't go with some team compositions. It's better on tanks for the most part. Things that can consistently get some damage out. And interestingly enough, the best way to counter her ult is with a sleep dart. So it's kind of this thing where if one team has an Ana, the other team should probably have an Ana too, to watch out for that ult and just, I don't know, be an Ana, right? So it's a very interesting thing that we'll have to see how it plays out. Two big changes overall to the game, like general changes to the game that I think will affect the meta greatly and like kind of changes some characters in a way. Well, well, actually no, wait, there's just one general change really that I want to talk about. It's overtime. So before, as long as you got on a point every, whatever, 3 seconds, I think it, 5, I don't know. If you got on a point every 3 seconds or whatever, you could just technically hold overtime indefinitely. But now, 20 seconds into overtime, once you hold overtime for 20 seconds, the timer gets shorter. Like every time you contest the point, the overtime timer gets shorter. So basically, you can't like do this thing, and I hated this thing before. You can't do this thing where like it's control points and the other team has the point, and then you're Tracer and you just like hop on, hop off, and just wait for your team to come. No, you can hop on, hop off for 20 seconds, and then basically you won't be able to. It'll go down and the other team will win. It's an interesting change. I really like it because it feels awful when it's just not fun when you lose a game by the other team hopping on and off the point. You can't really kill them because they're just on there for like a millisecond. It's just no fun when you lose to that. So I think this is a change for the better, but it also affects some characters that are those type of characters, like the hop on, hop off characters, like Diva, Winston, Tracer, kind of Genji, I don't know. Well, every character is technically affected by it, but especially like Winston and Tracer are just, they're less effective now in some situations, because those situations where the like overtime situations is where you wanted a Winston, you wanted a Tracer. Those were like the specific situations that you especially needed those characters in. Actually no, another general change. In competitive, and I'm assuming since Blizzard kind of is in the competitive community a little, this will maybe transfer over, but they're trying out a 1 hero limit, like a 1 hero per team limit, which means you can't have a 6-team stack of Tracers, a 6-team stack of Winstons or whatever in competitive. I like this change. But I also don't like this change. I like the change because, in my opinion, it makes it a little more competitive. But with that, it kind of makes it a little less, not fun, but like, I don't know, you can't goof around as easily. But I do like it because you can't stack the powerful characters. You can only, like, the powerful characters, whatever, like Pharah, you can only have one of them instead of having like 2 Pharah, because 2 is the magic number for really good characters. Like Pharah, in my opinion, is one of the most powerful characters right now, and she can just, if you have 2 of them, they can pretty much just wreak havoc. Especially if the other character, or if the other team isn't really a competitor or a composition built for Pharahs. Like that's a really good thing to have 2 Pharahs. But now you can only have 1 Pharah or 1 anything. Like 2 Winstons used to be really annoying, but you can only have 1 of any character, and I think that makes people think a lot more about their team composition instead of being like, oh, let's have 2 of these, 2 of the best attacking class, 2 of the best healers, 2 of the best tanks, because that's just, I don't know, that feels a little too easy. Now getting into the character changes, there's quite a few changes, and really big changes too. The first one I'll talk about is Actually, I'll talk about the small ones first. McCree now has no damage fall off until like really long sniper distances. So basically, he can deal consistent medium range damage now. Before this patch, we didn't know where McCree was, what McCree was supposed to be, because, you know, his gun, it felt like it should be a sniper, except it's a pistol. And his flashbang fan the hammer combo, it felt like he should be a short range, in your face kind of guy. But now we know he's the guy that just puts in some medium range damage, a consistent medium range hit scan weapon damage, and if anyone gets in his face, he can flashbang. And also he has fan the hammer rollout combo thing to deal with tanks, but it's not like so powerful that it needs a nerf. I think McCree's in a great spot right now. He's like just good enough to be good, but not overpowered, where he'll be like nerfed in a couple of days. So I think McCree is a good character now, but not a great character. He's not overpowered. He's not abusable. Another small change was Soldier 76. You know how you can 4-round burst with him and you'll be completely accurate? Well, now you have to like do a little wait. You have to pause in between. So I think Blizzard is trying to make it so you don't burst fire with Soldier 76, you full auto. Which I don't know how I feel about that, because I think the burst fire was a good thing. It took skill, and it wasn't necessarily it was powerful, but it wasn't overpowered. Now I think Soldier 76 is, especially at the top level, he's a little less consistent and powerful because he can't hit you know, all headshots anymore. He has to spray pretty much. It's interesting, but I think it's a purposeful change. Blizzard meant to do that, and they know where they want Soldier 76. Now the two biggest changes are to D.Va and Zenyatta. I'll talk about D.Va first. D.Va, I'm loving her right now. D.Va is great. She kind of takes the place as a much better Winston now. Her defense essentially, her before the patch, defense matrix was an ability that you could turn on and then turn off whenever you want, but then you have a 10-second cooldown, which sucks. Basically, defense matrix was kind of useless. Like, it took out some ults. You could take out an ult, like a far ult. You could defense matrix that if it wasn't on cooldown already, but you couldn't use it for small arms fire and stuff, you know. Now defense matrix, it's bound to I'm trying to hold the mouse in front. It's bound to right click, so that's nice. It also has a 1-second cooldown. So basically, you can use your 5-second cooldown boost ability, boost in, put some damage in. Her DPS sucks, but that doesn't matter if you can stay alive, you know. And then use her defense matrix for whatever you want. And then when they stop firing, you turn defense matrix off and start firing again. Since it has a 1-second cooldown, you can turn it back on whenever you want. It's really nice. It also has it's not like a turn on whenever you want thing. It does have a 4-second meter, so you can only have it on for 4 seconds until you need to like regen the meter or whatever, which I think is a great change. It might need to be nerfed a little. I think it should be like 3.5 seconds at least, maybe 3, because she's really powerful right now. I think she fits into a lot of team compositions, especially ones because like she fits with Ana. She loves Mercy. Mercy is great with her. Oh, and also another change with her, her ultimate. It has less charge. Like you have to do less to get the ultimate. And then also, her ult, instead of blowing up in 4 seconds, it blows up in 3 seconds now. So that's really nice. I like that change. Because before her ultimate felt useless, now it feels only a little useless. It clears the point a lot better now, because people aren't like, oh, I can stay on the point for a second, then I have to get out of here. People are like, Now with 3-second cooldown, people are like, I gotta get away from here right now, which is a good thing. She's also good as a Winston kind of, because she like can boost in. She has so much health. She just tanks it pretty much. She uses defense matrix. Half of the bullets coming towards her are just gone, and then boosts out. Right. So she's really good. I like her in him. She's really good. Zenyatta is interesting. I don't know where he is in the meta, but I do know that he got buffed. He got 50 more shields, which is, you know, for the people who don't know, that's a lot of shields. That's 50 more. Now he has 200 health, which is the same as, like, a lot of classes. He has the same amount of health as, like, McCree, Mercy, stuff like that, right? So he has huge survivability, especially now that that's shields, because shields regen. Zenyatta can pretty much, you know, keep himself up, right? He doesn't have to be on 10 health the entire game like he was before when he had 150 health total. Also, his orbs, they, like his Harmony and Discord orb, they go places faster, like a lot faster. They pretty much get to people, I don't know, but a lot faster. It went to like 30 meters per second to like 120 meters per second, something like that. I love that change. I think that makes Zenyatta useful as a healer, and not only like a, oh, I'll heal up your random battle scars when you're just chilling out, right? Because that's what it was before. He was like, oh, come to me and I'll heal you for that little bit that you just got like dinked, you know, once and then you ran away, right? Now he can heal people in the middle of battle. They'll get that healing orb instantly, and they'll start healing them like nearly instantly, you know what I mean? Same with the Discord orb. It's not like, oh, I'm going to put this on you, then later you'll get killed. It's like, you're in immediate danger when I see you. Immediately when I see you, you are in immediate danger because I put that Discord orb on you, and it doesn't take 50 years to get to you. I love him. I think now, he's still not as powerful as Mercy or Lucio, in my opinion. Just because, like, Lucio has the passive, pretty much passive healing, where you can just, like, everyone's getting healed at once, and all you have to do is, like, see them, and everyone's getting healed. Mercy is, like, she can heal people really fast. Zenyatta, he's really good for, his Discord orb is really good. His damage output is good, though they nerfed his damage output a little, but it's still good. But he can't, like, heal people, he can't, like, choose one target and heal them up all the way. Like, he can't take a Roadhog and make him go from, you know, 0 to 100 real fast like Mercy can. And he also can't be in a group of people and heal them all at once like Lucio can. So I think he has an interesting place in the meta. He's still not as powerful as Mercy or Lucio, but I think people will figure him out and he'll get better. Unfortunately, I don't have a character list with me, so I might blank out right now. But in terms of the meta, which characters do I think are needed on a team composition, and which characters do I think are, I don't know, a little weaker and not really necessary in any situation, or many situations, if any? This is a really tough question, but I think the characters that are kind of needed in a lot of team compositions, no matter what, is like a Mercy or a Lucio, or both, but one of the two, for sure. A Reinhardt. A Reinhardt is needed on a lot of compositions. He's needed on defense and offense and control points, in my opinion. So that's two characters right there. Well, Mercy and Lucio, it's just either or pretty much. But two characters. Let me go down the line in my head. Oh, Pharah. Pharah is definitely, in my opinion, necessary on a lot of maps. Not necessarily all maps, but a lot of maps she's super powerful. She does a lot of damage, especially if you can get those direct hits in. Yeah, so Pharah is kind of necessary. And she's super hard to hit for like half the cast. Half the cast can't even touch her. Like only, like the counters to her right now are like McCree. Soldier, maybe. But now that he's not as accurate, it's even harder to counter her. So Pharah is really powerful right now. So we have Pharah, Reinhardt, Mercy, or Lucio. Let me look at the attack characters. Who's powerful? McCree is alright. Soldier is alright. They're both pretty good. They fit in a lot of compositions, but they're not going to carry a team or something. They're not going to like be as useful as like a Reinhardt. Genji. Genji's a hard one. I don't think Genji is that useful. Genji is annoying, but he's not useful. Same with Tracer. Tracer's annoying and can do well, but against an organized team, a Genji and a Tracer won't really give you much trouble. Maybe I think Genji is a little more powerful than Mercy right now. Or not Mercy, Tracer. Genji is a little better than Tracer right now. Now for defense characters, Bastion in a competitive against an organized team, Bastion is like medium to bad against an organized team with a good composition. Junkrat's good. I think Junkrat's good. He's not necessary, but especially on defense, Junkrat is good. Hanzo, I don't like. Hanzo is eh. He's medium to bad. Mei, I think, is useful in some situations, but it kind of depends on the other team, what they have. But Mei, I think, is useful in a lot of situations. She's, like, good. She's medium good. Torbjorn, sorry if I say that wrong. He useful sometimes. Like, on defense, especially on defense, not really on control point. Not too much on attack, unless you're on Route 66. I think Torbjorn attacking on Route 66 is pretty good. But on defense, he's alright. But against once again, against an organized team, he's not good. And against an organized team, if your team doesn't have a Reinhardt, he's really not good. Sorry if I'm missing any characters, but I'm going to move on now to tanks. What are the good tanks? What are the bad tanks? I think all the tanks right now, except for Winston, have their place in every team, in different team compositions. Roadhog is good if you don't have like a Mercy. He's good. D.Va, as I've said before, is good. I think she's hard to play, but I think she's good. Especially with the defense matrix now. Winston, he's just D.Va is better. Winston, he doesn't do necessarily enough damage, and his compared to his defense shield used to be like, wow, defense shield, that's awesome. Now it's like, why don't you just play D.Va and get the defense matrix? So that's where I think Winston is. Reinhardt, like I said, good, necessary. His rectangle is very big. The rectangle shield is enormous. Zarya, I think a good Zarya can be good, but a good Zarya can't be as good as a good Reinhardt. Maybe even as good as a good D.Va. But Zarya is good in some situations. And now in terms of support, Ana, I already talked about her. Symmetra, I don't know about Symmetra. Symmetra's like medium to bad. She's definitely not a support. 25 shields, that's not healing. Like, I'd much rather have pretty much any other support character than Symmetra. A good Symmetra can be alright, but I don't know. I don't know. I think that's it, though. If you liked this video, obviously leave a like. Please subscribe for more Moss talks, more Moss and Jade. Hopefully Jade will get a Jade talk in about something that I don't know about. Yeah. Leave a comment, please, telling me what you want to hear from me in terms of like my opinions, my videos, editing, anything. Yeah, so this is Moss signing out. See you next time.